Okay, so that was the most recent trailer for Skeleton Crew. It came out 2 hours ago. But what Navarro and others, shout out to the Discord, have been sort of conjuring up in the Discord is this crazy sort of pieces to a puzzle in these trailers that all have to do with this treasure room, okay? And this is very interesting. So let me pull this up. Shout out to Navarro for finding all this stuff. Let's open that one. Hang on. Open this one specifically. Okay. So let's open that. So in Skeleton Crew, in the second trailer that was released, we saw the treasure room. We're assuming that this is what Jude Law is using these kids to find. This treasure, that is. This one right here. This treasure room is seen in the second trailer. Now, yes, there's this skull of a Weequay, which is Hondo Unaka's species. Could it be a direct connection to Hondo? Is this Hondo's treasure? Maybe. There's also the question of Exum, or Zim, as you guys were saying, the ancient pirate from thousands of years ago who had this massive treasure, and this could be his. But we don't know whose treasure this is. We don't. Would it be Hondo's? Could it be Hondo's? Would it be cool if it was Hondo's? Yes. Brandon Tram, what's up? But it could be anybody's, really, if we're being real. And Jod Na and the rest of the kids are looking for it. Now, the big thing is we've seen this multiple times in the trailers. And Navarro, shout out to him, geniusly found these other appearances, and one of them being in sort of a behind-the-scenes type thing. This one right here. As you can see, the same things on the wall as you see in this picture, and I believe it's that wall over there because there's vines on it over there, and there's no vines on it right here. But there are vines growing over this on the wall, and it's right there. Now, the big question is, this is the back of Wim's head, and this looks to be one of the girl characters, maybe Fern, maybe KB. But who is this guy? He's obviously not in the show. He's wearing a lanyard. He's got headphones on. He's actually got, I think, a mask under his chin. He's a director. Not just any director. The director of episode 5, Jake, the guy who did the Thunderbolts. Yeah. So this guy is the director of episode 5, confirming, if we use our big boy brains and big girl brains, that this scene of the treasure will happen in episode 5. This is very strange. This is very strange. Why would this, what seems to be, at least to us as the audience, the end game, the final episode of this show, finding the treasure, finding what they've been looking for this entire time, why would that happen in the 5th episode? There's 3 episodes after this one. So why, what? What happens after that? Is this not the end goal of the show? Like I mentioned at the top of this stream, we know so little about this show. Like, so little. We don't even know what the plot is. We don't know what the goal is, to get these kids back to their home planet, which they don't even know about. Nobody else in the galaxy's ever heard of. So why is episode 5 going to be when they find the treasure? Kid Fisto says that episode 5s are always great. Ahsoka, Acolyte, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi. You're not wrong there. Episode 5 of Kenobi was the flashbacks to the Clone Wars, or before the Clone Wars, actually, with Anakin and Obi-Wan. Also had Reva versus Vader. Episode 5 of The Acolyte is the best episode of that show, maybe other than the finale, but it has that crazy forest sequence of lightsabers. The Book of Boba Fett episode 5 is the one with Mando and the N1 Starfighter. Ahsoka episode 5 is the War Between Worlds versus Anakin. You're not wrong. But if this happens in episode 5, then what happens in the next 3 episodes? Well, I actually think that this scene right here, where we see our heroes, let me pull up the actual trailer itself, where we see our heroes.
What are you?
And mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up. No matter what.
So we see our heroes, Wim, Neil, KB, Fern, SM33, and Jod Na Nawood behind them, all in this treasure room. I think this, during episode 5, is when things change drastically. I think it's when all hell breaks loose in this Skeleton Crew series. We're going to trust and believe that Jod Na is a good guy for the first 5 episodes of this series. And then this episode, where we are in this treasure room, what we've all been waiting for, is when it all turns. Jude Law will turn on these kids, and there will be no one who can save them. And this isn't just a crazy theory, okay? We have proof. And by we, I mean Navarro. So let's check this out. So this is one of the trailers from like a behind the scenes type deal with John Watts.
Skeleton Crew is the story of 4 kids.
Hang on, what was the timestamp on that, Navarro? 55 seconds, okay.
Crew is the story of 4 kids. It's where the adventures that we had seen in movies, like in Goonies. And we tried to capture that.
Right here. Right here, chat. This is where it all starts to come together. So in episode 5, at least we believe, episode 5 is when they come into this treasure room. They are in the treasure room right here. The 4 kids, that is. They are looking up to the right. I guess they're right, our left. They're looking up to the right at what we can only believe is Jod Na Nawood and SM33. Darth Thor brings up a great point in the chat. SM33 will probably protect the kids. Yes, I agree with that. I think the only reason these kids are going to get away from Jod Na is because of SM33. He's going to fight back against Jod and maybe die even. But we'll save that for another time. They are clearly in this treasure room right now.
We tried to capture.
Right now, you can see the treasure all around them. You can see the markings on the wall that we looked at earlier, the circle markings. So they are in the treasure room right now, and they're about to go down a secret sort of hatch exit. Wim is about to punch something behind them. Punch the lever, and they all go falling down into the ground. And this is likely how they will be escaping Jod Na Nawood. This might be it, chat. This might be the keys to everything. This is when Jod Na reveals himself to be the bad guy, reveals himself to change all of it. Yes, SM33 would be loyal to his captain, and Fern would be the captain of the ship. You're absolutely right. So he would protect them. He'd protect the kids. So Jod just used the kids to get to the treasure.